Okay, as mayor, I can think of so many advantages of the community development block program, grant program. I know I've been mayor, for the last 6 years, involved with the city for 4 past that. So in the last 10 years, I can think of several $100,000, if not more, of this type of grant money that's poured into our town, which is Slocum, city of Slocum. I feel like small towns, especially today, our revenue is at such a point where, sales tax revenue's down, the economy's taking a hit. We're doing what we can to build that back up. But were it not for programs like CDBG, we couldn't do the capital infrastructure things that we need to do as a town and our citizens, expect. Just to give you a few examples, and just in the last, I'd say 15 years, we've done everything from sidewalks, and this replaced sidewalks that were from the 40s and 50s. They just had to be done, and we didn't have the money to do it. So we desperately had to have that money. We did sidewalks. We've done some street repaving. We've done some housing rehab. We've done water and sewer rehab. And most recently, in 2010, I believe, we did the new fire station and EMS station, which was a $250,000 CDBG grant project. So, I think all that combined is just essential that that we're able to apply for that, and we're very grateful. Obviously, when we get a grant like that, it's tremendously beneficial to the community. And I think because of the importance of the program, I would hope that in the future, programs like CDBG, mainly with a focus on CDBG, at least maintain level funding, if not increased. Just to give you an example, in the next, you always hear things about state and federal roads and bridges. Well, cities have the same problems. We have deteriorating infrastructure, and without programs like CDBG, that's frankly all we have. I mean, we're having to obviously come up with a match, but we simply don't have the funds, to revitalize, to rebuild, to maintain structures. Without this program, we simply would be lost. I mean, I would just put out a plea to Congress that hopefully these programs are maintained, if not increased.
My name is Clay King, and I'm the mayor of the city of Sampson. The CDBG program is absolutely essential to small municipalities. I certainly know it is to ours. Without the CDBG program, we wouldn't be able to do our water projects, sewer projects, street paving, and other projects that we just don't have the funds for, or don't have any way to raise the revenue to complete those projects. The CDBG program, as I said earlier, is absolutely essential to small communities, and any cut in this funding or to do away with this program would absolutely be probably one of the worst things that could happen to all small communities. We have a limited way to produce revenue. We are over the 51% low to moderate income, and it's hard for us to go out and raise revenue on people that are on a fixed income by raising water, sewer rates, or taxes. So it's absolutely essential this program be continued and not cut.
I'm Rebecca Beasley, and I'm mayor of Clayton, Alabama, a small town in the central geographical area of Barbie County, Alabama, which is in the southeast section of the state. We've been extremely pleased with the projects that we have done with CDBG funds in the state that would otherwise not be successful, or we would be able to have done, or to be able to give to the people of Clayton that deserve it as well as any other place. We most recently, and we're very, very proud of it, have completed a playground for our children in Clayton. And it is adjacent to our walking trail extension that is on Peanut Butter Hill, which is named from the peanut butter manufacturing plant that was in Clayton many years ago. So we have the trail that is really used a lot now, walking trail. And also the playground, we will be opening it officially in a couple of weeks. So our children prior to this have not had a playground. They have not had an area that they can go, play, enjoy themselves, spend a safe environment. And they can play while their children are walking, while their parents are walking on the trails. So it's worked out real well for us, and of course we hope to add to it more in the future, to add some more equipment to it. And also other projects that small towns like Clayton would not be able to do. We can't afford it. We don't have the tax revenue to fund these projects, and they would not be possible without CDBG funding. So we've been able to do a downtown renovation project with CDBG funds. We've been able to do another walking trail with CDBG funds. And the list can go on and on in Clayton with sewer and water projects that we've been able to do that would be totally impossible because of the limited revenue that small towns have, that we wouldn't be able to do and provide these services to our citizens. I certainly appeal to our two state senators, Senator Sessions and Senator Shelby, both of whom are very familiar with Clayton and know how important these projects are to us, to support them. And of course, Congresswoman Martha Roby certainly knows about the wiregrass and rural Barbie County and how important this funding is to us. And we encourage our leaders in Washington to continue funding these projects that are providing services to citizens that otherwise would not be able to have them.
Greetings from Daleville, the gateway to Fort Rucker. I'm Claudia Wigglesworth, the mayor of the city of Daleville. I want to take a few minutes to talk about the importance of the CDBG funding. It's a critical resource for the city as we try to improve all of our city structures and our city programs, but really the expensive items, we need the support from CDBG to be able to upgrade and maintain our infrastructure, whether it's our sewer, our water, or our streets. Almost since the inception of CDBG grants, the City of Daleville has greatly benefited from this federal funding. One of our first projects was in 1976, and it was water and sewer project. And every couple of years since then, we've benefited from some critical infrastructure projects that couldn't have happened in the city if it wasn't for this federal funding. Again, it's mostly been water and sewer projects, as well as providing street paving projects in our low to moderate neighborhoods here within the city. This is a critical funding element for small cities like Daleville, and really encourage Congress to continue to provide these funds to us.
I'm Mayor Ray Mahler of the City of Headland. The ADECA programs are very important to our city to get grants for sewer, water, and also our street projects. We have a hard time as a city of our size of 5,000 to have the funds in our capital outlay and our capital trust funds to build up enough money to do the projects that we want to do for our future of our city. Our projects that we have, that we've applied for DECA, is part of our long-term planning and the vision of our city to help us grow. We don't have, normally it's hard to find that kind of money or go get a loan for that type of money for these projects. So these projects are detrimental to our city for future growth coming to our city, to attract businesses coming to our city, to attract more residents coming to our city, and for growth of our city. Our city can do one of two things. We can either move forward or we can go backwards, but we're not going to stand still. So we need these grants to help our city move in a positive direction. These grants are so important to our city. We had a sewer project a couple years ago that affected about 45% of our city in sewage. If we did not have these ADECA grants, we would know where we got the money to replace that grant. You're talking about $1 million, and as we all know, our cities are aging and got old sewer lines and old streets and old wells and things, and these things are so important to us to get it. So I'm very much supportive, either keep our level funding that we have or increase our funding, because it's very important for cities our size to get this money to make it grow. And so we just need this funding to continue. It's a big asset to us.
My name's Billy Blackwell. I'm the mayor of Ozark, Alabama. Ozark has participated in the Community Development Block Grant Program for a number of years. And we have done projects such as sewer rehabilitation, new sanitary sewers, water projects, street repaving, and recreation projects, and also housing, which is very important to our community. The Community Development Block Grant Program is exactly what the name says. It is community development for the small communities in the United States. And it's extremely important to those small communities because this is a way that they can fund projects for the basic needs of the citizens of their community where they would not have these funds in any other way. The basic needs would be improving the water system, providing sanitary sewage and housing, and this homeowners would have no other way of making the improvements to bring their housing up to standard. And when I say up to standard, I'm talking about the very basic needs to get to a building code requirement in all the communities across the United States. So this is extremely important to the citizens in our community. It's extremely important to all communities such as Ozark and smaller communities to fund these programs because, as I said, there's just no other way to fund these very basic needs, and that's what community development is all about, is improving the basic needs of your community.
Good morning. My name is Lanny Lancaster. I'm the mayor of the town of Columbia, and I'm here to speak to you about the Community Block Grant Program and what it affords the town to be able to do and how important it is to the community to have this Community Block Grant available. It allows towns of our size to be able to do projects like our new senior center to help the citizens of the town that otherwise small towns like us could not afford to do. We've been fortunate enough to get a Community Block Grant for this project. It's turned out very well. We have quite a few citizens that take advantage of the senior center. It's a wonderful building. Like I said, otherwise, without the Community Block Grant, this would not have been available to the town of Columbia. And on behalf of the town of Columbia, I would like to impose upon our state representatives, senators, congresspeople, that this is a program that does not need to be cut, needs to be continued to be funded for small towns like us. We have nowhere else to go for help. Projects like this couldn't be done on our own. The only way we can do this is through the Community Block Grant Program, and if they continue cut of the program, someday that we won't be able to do projects. If this program goes away, we will not be able to afford to do programs like this.